My point today is pretty simple and straightforward. The economic world, the financial world is going through an event or events if you want, of tremendous significance. I would even say historic significance. And yet our papers have largely not quite noticed it. There is no comment, and therefore I thought I should step in and say what I think about it. Let there be no doubt about this thing, that what I'm talking about is a matter of tremendous significance for the world. And the subject is that safe haven assets. The US dollar and the US treasuries, that is the IOUs, the bonds of the US government bonds, have taken a beating. For the first time together, these two, the US dollar and US treasuries, have taken a beating, and they are being sold off. Let me get to the details. On April 2nd, President Trump announced what he called Liberation Day tariffs, which in essence was a crazy business where he imposed percentages of tariffs in whatever manner he liked. There was no rhyme or reason or mathematics, no calculation in percentages. It was absolutely crazy. I'm not going to go into the details, but this will, for a long time, it will remain, because here is the power, America, which claims to be the number one economic power, showing total irresponsibility and callousness and an attitude of, say, we don't care. That kind of thing was most evident. I mean, clobbering everybody with the kind of tariffs, whatever they liked, 40%, 26%, that kind of thing. There was nothing there which was based on rational calculations. Let that be. There was chaos in the markets. And in a couple of days, in a day, right, because markets don't wait and all that, US stocks went down. And there was tremendous selling off. It was a period of uncertainty. But soon there was something very ominous, something which we have not seen for about 25 years or more. That is, US dollars were losing their value. The almighty dollar was coming down. And the US treasuries, government bonds, yields were climbing up. When yields go up, prices go down. People were selling off. Investors were selling off. So yields were climbing out to very, very dangerous levels. Easily they went up from 3.9 or something like that to 4.5. Showing that US treasuries or US bonds, government bonds, far from being safe haven asset, was being offloaded because they could not trust the US government or its bonds anymore. The US dollar too showed continuous weakness, the value of the US dollar was coming down relative to other currencies. So the message from the bonds and from the stock markets, so far as these two safe haven assets were concerned, that investors did not trust the US government. This safe haven architecture, so crucial in the financial world, in fact the bedrock of the financial world, where investors, when they want to save themselves from big economic upheaval or political convulsions or anything so uncertain like war or a pandemic or anything like that, go to the safe haven in the sense that they invest in US treasuries and US dollars. Both are called safe haven. There are many terms used. Exorbitant privilege of the US government, that is within quotes. But exorbitant privilege has a price, and that price is that you should have law and order, you should respect law, you should honor your commitments of yesterday, your word should be trusted, your reputation should not be shaken, your credibility should not be destroyed. All these things were happening, not in those 4 or 5 days. It has been happening ever since President Trump took over. All that was seen was that a crazy president, filled with all the feeling of power, megalomania if you like, whatever you like, was surrounded by courtiers who were vetted only for their loyalty. Top people in the government only recently, that is after April the 2nd, Elon Musk was saying that Peter Navarro, the big trade man, I mean the trade commissioner, whatever you like, he's the trade guy under Trump, was really Peter Retardo. And he was quoted as saying that Peter has the same IQ as a sack of bricks. This was what was going on. The world of investment, the investment world, were looking at all this thing. There was no policy being made. There was no trust in this except one crazy man surrounded by his courtiers. People were already saying, welcome America to the emerging markets club, no longer the top. That kind of thing, that was the psychology. And let me get quickly to my point. These safe haven assets, the US dollar and the US treasuries have fallen from their perch, because the US government, according to investors, cannot be trusted. The trust, once gone, is, in my view, gone forever. And therefore, that is the situation that we see today. How it will develop and what are the repercussions, you will see. It is not going to be simple. As I said just a little while ago, the bedrock on which the financial world has been built, safe haven status for the US dollar and trust in the US treasuries, that is American bonds, that those two things have been shaken and trust has gone. This is the simple message. What the repercussions will be, you will know, and my purpose in coming out with this video is only to see that you are informed, educated on this, so that you can follow the developments as they go, as they come along. Today, Monday, soon in a few hours, the markets will open. I'm not talking immediately of what is going to happen, but this is going to play out. No way to escape. You can follow this. That's why this video. Well, I might have to come back again because it is too big a matter to be left uncommented and too big a matter not to be noticed. That's all that I have to say today, and possibly I may have something to say as the days go by.